We're going to start with a simple example illustrating data validation. Data validation is used to control the type of data or the values that you enter into a cell. For example, in the scenario we have up here, we have people working a certain amount of time. So you may want to restrict the data entry to a certain range of numbers that we can put in, possibly limited between 0 and 100 hours at most, and make sure that only positive values are entered. Or you may have a column whereby you have to enter dates, and you want to restrict the dates to a certain time period. And we will be using data validation to accomplish that. So let's start off with a example right now to show how this operates. Let's assume we want to have the data for the time to be restricted between 0 and 100. So we highlight the cells that we're looking to have it restricted in, and we're going to go to Data, and one of the choices there is Data Validation. And it's asking us, well, what type of value do you want? Any value, or you can see there are other possibilities as well. Whole number. Let's choose whole number. Now, what should the whole numbers be between? Do you have any restrictions? And we do. We're going to make this between 0 and the most will be, let's say, 100. And we'll say OK. Now, if we put in a number which exceeds that, you will see we will have a problem. Let's put in 200 over here and press enter. And we get a message that tells us, wait, you made a mistake. So we're going to cancel this, and we're going to also make this more interesting by, again, highlighting the data. And we will go back to what we did a moment ago. We're going to choose Data, and we'll go to Data Validation, and we see everything is the way we want it to be. We're ignoring blanks, if there are blanks there as well. But we're going to also now put in a message, and the message will be, please enter hours worked, rounded up to a whole number. We'll say OK, and you can see the message will automatically appear when we're about to enter data. One last thing on this, we will go back one more time once we highlight the data. We'll go back to Data, and we're going to put in a message in case an error is made. We'll put an error alert, and the error alert might say something like this: please restrict your data to whole numbers that are positive. And click that, and let's see what happens in this case. We have a number right at this point for Donnie at 14. Let's put in -14. Let's press enter, and we get the message, please restrict your data to whole numbers that are positive. And that is, in a nutshell, how we can apply data validation. We see at this point that input messages are generally used to offer the user help about the type of data that you want entered in the cell. When we choose alerts, error alerts, we have three possibilities, and let's just take a look at those to see what they do for us. So we'll go back to Data, and we'll go back to Data Validation. Now notice the first one we have is Stop. And stop prevents users from entering invalid data in a cell. And a stop alert message has two options, either retry or cancel. Besides that, the second choice is warning. Warning, let's click on that. Warning warns the users that the data they entered is invalid without preventing them from entering it. When a warning alert message appears, users can click yes to accept invalid entry, no to edit the invalid entry, or cancel to remove the invalid entry. And finally, the third choice is information. Information tells users that they entered data that's invalid without preventing them from entering it. This type of error alert is pretty flexible. When an information alert message appears, users can click OK to accept it, even though it's invalid, or they can click on cancel to reject it. Let's say you have the spreadsheet and you are not sure where the data validation cells are. Now here it's a pretty small sheet and you can really go through it, but let's assume someone else created it for you. How would you find that? So we have a very easy way to find that as well. We can go to the home key on top and click on Find and Select. One of the choices there is data validation. Click on that and automatically it'll show us where those cells are. Pretty nice. Also, since we're on the Find and Select, let me show you one other thing. If we go to the Home and the Find and Select, we can also have Excel find for us other items here, and we'll just take a look at one of them, which are formulas. If you click on formulas, it'll automatically show you where the formulas are. So for example, total we used the formula for sum, and here I introduced also max, min, and average, and we can see exactly that these three cells utilize formulas as well. We've covered the basics, but I do want to let you know there are many other possibilities. I'll mention a few without going into them. One is we can restrict data entry to values in a drop-down list. A second one is we can restrict data entry to a date within a time frame. Third one is to restrict data entry to text of a specified length. And a fourth one would be using a formula to calculate what is allowed.